Hi, this is Jeremy Schubeck with the Photoshop Expert Series. In this session, we're going to be talking about how to select out hair. That's what we're shooting for right here. So what we're going to be doing in order to do this, you can see I have a lot of stuff in the Layers palette. I'm going to actually get rid of this. This is from a previous example. Is we're going to be shooting for a mask that looks like this in order to get this selection. And if you've been watching the previous tutorials, it should almost immediately be clear how we're going to be going about doing that. But this is very important to go over again because it's a very crucial way to go about it. So let me first show you the wrong way to do things. Just a couple of ways. Apply layer mask. No, delete. Or actually, even let's just bring this down here. It's just kind of saving the selection to a blank layer. You'll notice that I have a couple of background layers. Let's make red. Just to set this up as background test. And then, we'll call this one BG for real. All right, so let's first select out the hair the wrong way. So I'm going to go into select color range. You'll notice normally select has a lot of things in it. I'm just going to do select color range. Excuse me. I'm going to shift select. And you'll notice this is much too much. Now, lowering the fuzziness on this window is kind of like lowering the tolerance on the wand tool. So I'm going to try and do that. And I'm going to press OK. Localize color? Nah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to actually press cancel, and I'm going to go into this again. I could see from the black and white right there that this wasn't going to be all that great. All right, so that looks pretty good. And then, maybe I'll shift select this. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to shift click this. That looks pretty good. I'm going to bring in the fuzziness. I'm going to press OK. And we have a selection that looks like this. Not bad. I'm going to go into my, my lasso tool. And just by holding down shift, I'm going to click around all of this, this area right here. I'm not being too specific because I know even in my doing it the wrong way, I'm going to turn it into a mask. Apparently, I added, and I should have been subtracting. So, whatever, bygones, these things happen. Because I selected the color range of the background, I hit Shift, I should have been hitting Alt. That's actually a good thing to show. It's good to never select too big of areas at a time, just in case you make a mistake. Just do small incremental stages first. Alright, so I'm going to go into Refine Edge. And you'll notice that it's showing me this area. I don't want this, so before I do that, I'm going to hit Control-Shift-I to invert selection. And so now instead of this area being selected, this area is selected. I'm going to hit Refine Edge, and currently we have it on black. I actually want to see what the background will look behind it. So I am going to, again, go to Refine Edge, make sure that, this red background is turned off. So I'm going to go into Refine Edge, and then I'm going to set Refine Edge to On Layers. Or I could just hit the shortcut key L. Then I'm going to move everything to 0. I always start with everything at 0, even radius. So I'm just tabbing between to set them to 0. I'm going to shift the edge. Just kind of choke them out a little bit. I'm going to feather it ever so slightly. There we go. I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. We'll feather it a little bit more. Going to bring it in more. Just kind of, I don't want that, the nasty edge that we're seeing right there. Just kind of bringing it in until I'm happy with it. So here we go. That's halfway decent. Notice down here in the Refine Edges that I get the options for Output To, and I'm doing it to selection. I'm going to do it as a new layer with Layer Mask, and when I do it this way and press OK, what happens is this layer is duplicated, and now it is formed on a new layer with a layer mask. So if I ever want to go back to the original layer, I have that right here, although the original layer is also contained right here. So it's just a lot of backup options. I'm going to move the original layer behind because I figure maybe I'll shift the colors of this, maybe I'll mess with it in some way. I'm going to hold down Alt and go into this layer mask, and it looks okay, it looks decent. If I were to actually be doing the selection using this method, I could hold Shift and then turn this on and off, Shift to turn the layer mask on and off. I would then go through and, very specific. I could do this with the pen tool, although I just tend to use the polygonal lasso tool. It's actually, the pen tool would be much better in this case. but I just happen to have the lasso tool up, so I'm just going to use it. All right, so using this bad method, I'm going to go through, get this final way, and go in here. Looks like I accidentally moved it a little bit. Oh no, it doesn't. It just looks like we're losing a lot of information in the mask. I'm just going to use the brush, do this in the simplest way possible to brush this back in with white. So one thing I might want to do is I might want to actually feather the edge first. So seems as if I've lost the selection. So I'm going to go into my history panel so I can get that selection back. So polygonal lasso, and then we're going to turn this off. And I'm not seeing it because I'd hit Control H, so I didn't know where it was. Control H hides the selection. I'm going to go into here. I can't right click when I have the brush selected. I need to have one of the selection tools selected, like the the lasso. You know what I mean? Feather. Let's do this to 2 pixels. Y2, because I said so. It seems like a good, decent value. And just brush these in, deselect. And then I could go in, do this further, all of that. So this is good, but what we're really trying to go for is, replace layer mask, something closer to this. And the difference between this, using the method I just showed you, and this is worlds apart. And we're going to show you how to get from here to here in the next video. This has been Jeremy Schuback with the Photoshop Expert Series. Please click subscribe. Please tell your friends. Please leave a comment. Until next time.